Well, I got the brace fixed and rust treated. Now we got to start putting our pan back in. Oh. And I really don't know what I'm doing. But it can't be that hard. It's a Dodge, right? Can't be that hard. Kind of in place again. Why in the crap would Dodge make it two pieces right here? Like a pan, a pan, a pan. That's so stupid.
Let's make it three pieces.
That's straight, not. Lord have mercy. I don't like nothing about it. Probably need to go get some self-tapping screws. Screw that panel in because I don't know about it. Looks good to me. Now for the fun part. Not really. Hell, you didn't close the door on the truck? What's wrong with you, girl? Well, I trained you better than that. So 4 pans heavy, man. Yeah.
Heavy.
How's it go in there? This ain't no Mustang. Great, that's the wrong place. And now what? Now it's gonna be jammed in under everything. Of course. are we supposed to do this? Look out. Well, emergency brake. Down. Imagine that. Flipper. You too, brake pedal. Oh man. The back panels are supposed to sit on top of them. Man, really? Well, that ain't no fun. Who goes there? Take it back out. Well, that sucks. It appears that those go on top. So I guess it's like when you're roofing. This goes over top of this, and then this goes over top of this. Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Oh, I wish I knew what I was doing. But I don't. I don't know what to do. Man. Wish I didn't have to take it back out. Let me tell you something. Anybody that thinks this AMD stuff fits good, obviously has never used dynacorn. I've been fighting with this floor right here for probably 2 hours now, trying to get it to fit. There's just no way to get it to fit exactly right. These don't fit. That over there kind of fits. This over here is like, it's too far this way. It's against the factory frame rail under that, pushed all the way back as far as it'll go. And this is the floor under it. Half a hole. It's hanging over too far, and this floor is slid all the way forward, and it's against the firewall, so it's in the right place. Seatbelt hose is in the right place. I don't get it. It's got like a lip. Somebody that knows more about these things than I do, please let me know what I'm doing wrong. Is this supposed to be like this? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh. Is it supposed to have a lip hanging down right here that you can stick your finger in? Is this supposed to act like a cross member or something for the rear floor pan? Because I'm used to stuff setting flush, and boys, I can stick my fingers in here. It's got like a recess. If you see this right here, it goes this way, and then it turns and it goes up, and then it flattens out again. So there's no way possible that you could get this to lay on this edge unless this panel right here was a heck of a lot shorter and only laid right here on this lip. So there's something just ain't exactly right, because I'm all the way up against this. I don't know. I'm not happy with none of it. None. I'm not happy with none of it. AMD stuff is junk. My God. I ain't happy with any of it. Everybody said, oh, get AMD. AMD's good stuff. They have obviously never used dynacorn, because dynacorn about fall and put itself together. My goodness. Well, the floor is welded in. I got a little patch I got to make right there. I got a patch of holes. I'm going to replace this pillar here, this door post. I got to patch up a few places over there. Of course, you can't see it because it's dark. But the floor, for the most part, is finished. So now, I want to move on to this. I want to get this just cut off. I'm tired of looking at it. Hopefully, this car doesn't just collapse in on itself. because it has nothing really to support it besides what little bit of weld is still holding it on the wheel tubs and the upper structure. So hopefully it'll stay. So let's get to cutting on this thing. Where'd your ball go, Eddie? Is it under the car? Under the car? Well, that ain't no good. I bet it's got still shavings all over it now. That ain't no good either. Oh, that's nasty. I'm just trying to get the stale off of it. Where are we gonna cut that? We'll start right here. Probably start right here because it's all gotta go.
Not today.
She's crusty. Crusty old car. Where's your ball at, Eddie? Ain't held on my mother, that's for sure. Yep. Westy went back there trying to find that creek. We gotta ask you. Anybody need a 68 Charger taillight panel? She's rough, boys. Rough, rough, rough. I'll get some more of this old crap cut off and out of the way. We'll come back to it. Alright. I've started patching these rails. This is 18 gauge. And this rail's shaped funky, so I took actually, I made caps like you could buy. Then I just cut the slits in it and made it so I could bend it the way I want it. I know it ain't pretty right now, but I got my hose back out and wipe a little filler on it. It'll be good to go. I shouldn't even wipe no filler on it. I should leave it like that. It's a rat rod. Back strong again. I still gotta do the other side. Put that lip back on it. It's getting there. I gotta do some more grinding. Well, deconstruction has immense. I wrote measurements from this point down to the old floor, and the width from here to the other side. Good idea to take measurements before you start hacking stuff apart. Alright, this is what I look like. Been all day. I just took the spring perch, I don't know what you call it, the mounting rail part of the spring perch. I don't know, Dodge terms. So you got your frame rail like on a regular car, and then Dodge, for some stupid reason, it's like they didn't get something right. So they said, oh man, we got, that don't line up with that, so we're going to have to put light on there to make light line up with that. So anyway, it's so stupid. Put a rail next to a rail. What are they thinking? So anyway, took this off. It's pretty good. Evidently the spring perch, or the shackles was wore out. It started wearing a hole in the bottom. So I'm gonna weld a piece on here, and I got to fix the end of it, and it'll be good to go back on. Reason why I took it off is cause I tore them holes in it. Those holes, I tore them in there with the air chisel. But it's just pitted up. I mean, it ain't rotted through or nothing. It's just pitted up. So I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to spray some rust treatment on it. And then I'm going to cap it. Just like I did the other side. Weld it all solid. I might get a little crazy and wipe a little body filler on it to make it pretty, but probably not. But the rest of it's pretty good. I mean, it's got looks like something pushed against it right here, like maybe a tractor or something. Push the rail in right there. I might go in there with a hammer and try to straighten it out a little bit, but I don't know, maybe not. It doesn't hurt my feelings none. It sure don't hurt my feelings none. But that's where we're at. These rails are pretty straight, like if you look across it, I mean, they're pretty straight. But we'll get this piece on. Man, have I got a mess. I gotta clean all this up. I've got the rails patched up. See that piece in there? So I made like a cap. The cap's over the rail. Welded it in solid. I'll grind her down smooth. I didn't butt weld it or none of that garbage. It's not no show car. That's solid. There was a couple little pinholes I drilled out and welded up. Somebody looked like they had hooked a chain in that hole and tore it, so I welded it up. Went ahead and just welded these on solid down the sides. Ended up taking that one off because I made a big old long cap, as you can see. Oh, it ain't the prettiest thing in the world, but it got the edge on it and it comes all the way up to here, and I put my hose back in it. Like I said, it ain't perfect, it ain't show quality or nothing, but I can wipe a little body filler on it and make it show quality. So it ain't perfect, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to bead blast inside the rails and treat them, and I put my pan on. I've done test fitted my rear brace right there. So that's the next step. I wish I had some more light in here where you could really see what I've done. I've cleaned it up in there, and I've poured 15. I've brushed it all inside the rails. Some pretty good stuff. Pour 15's all inside there, as you can see. Took a little spot blaster and blasted out the worst of it. That's where all this sand is. But, yep. Hopefully it'll last for the next guy. Hopefully. It'll last my lifetime anyway, hopefully. But there it is. I'm fixing to start. I'm gonna get this back piece on and maybe I can get my trunk pan on. We'll see. I wish y'all could see what I was doing. There ain't no light. Hey, there we go. A little bit better. Maybe that'll work. This thing's heavy. That came all the way off my house. I just know it's gonna fit. Well, that was weird. I just wish I knew where everything was supposed to be. No idea how any of this is supposed to go. No idea. There's where the open was. Chances of that being where it goes. Hey, it's got lineup holes. They're dead on. This one. Ain't got no lineup hole on this side, really? I don't know. Maybe I can just get this one lined up and use this one to run off of. Wish I had something that same size. I don't know if that's right or not. That hole's lined up though. I just don't know about this. Looks pretty even though. It's not the fact it's got a warp place in the middle. I don't know how any of this is supposed to look, y'all. I build Mustangs. I don't build Dodge Chargers. So is this right? Is this edge supposed to be hanging over this edge just a little bit? I mean, I ain't worried about the gap. I can pull the gap out of it with some screws, but this lineup hole, if you look down it, let's see it that way. I mean, it's perfect. It's on the original paint line up here, but if you look at it, it's straight, straight, straight. It looks like they stamped it wrong over there, so maybe that's why the paint line, see how it kind of like veers off a little bit. And I guess they don't give you no lineup hole on this side. Why would they do that? I know it's got a hole under there. Why couldn't they put me a lineup hole in there? Well, I'll get some screws in it. I'll keep carrying on. Boys, this is one rusty piece of crap. I'm having to go in here, and I know it ain't pretty and ain't butt welded and all that shit, but it's better than what it was. All this bottom was rotted out. It's rotted all the way up into there. Actually, it's probably rotted all the way into there because I see rust, but Man, this thing's rusty. It was broke, like straight across right here, like where the roof and the quarter met on this brace. So I put this piece of metal in here and welded it all the way around as far as I could on the outside. And where it's broke on the inside, I can go in there and stitch it together. So give me something to weld to. So weld it down in there. Welded it all along this right here. And I know the welds aren't pretty, but try welding to rust. It ain't fun welding to rust. So made this channel. Put it on a shrinker stretcher. Made that curve. Put that little bend in it where it meets up with the outer wheel tub. I'm going to carry this flange all the way around. Remake the bottom of this. Welded it along in here. Patched all this up best I could. That's the drip rail right there. That's the way it's made. But it ain't the best in the world. It's still got a couple little pinholes. I'm going to take I got a piece of copper. Lay the copper on the backside if I can get to the backside and just try to weld it up. Because this is still solid. I mean, it ain't rotten. It's just got a couple little pinholes in it. But I know what happens when you try to weld up little pinholes and try to paint something. But we're not painting this car. We're going to blow a little red oxide primer on the new stuff. Put the green on it. Water sand through it. We're going to make her look old. We're not trying to make a show car. We're building a rat rod. I just want it all to be structurally sound. I don't want to build an unsafe car. Maybe my wheel tubs will be here tomorrow. I can really get in there and start playing because I really want to get my wheel tubs in place so I know exactly where to make these bottoms. And now it's kind of like a guessing game. But that's where I'm going to end it right now. Alright, fellas. I have started trying to figure out this package tray. I got it all measured out. And I got it welded in. I think I've kind of got it figured out. I don't really know exactly how these corners go. Just overlook these rust holes because this is getting replaced. But I figured I could go in there and go ahead and put the package tray in place where it used to go on the tops of the inner tubs. Now to kind of locate it. And then I just welded it back through the factory plug hose. So that should all be back where it's supposed to be. But this thing right here, none of this fits good. And the way this right here is stamped, it's stamped like, I think it's stamped wrong. Because it's too high. Like you see that big gap right there? So if it sets on top of that panel, and then it sets on that panel, look at there, what a gap. That's really the only way you can go on. This would set on top of it. It's just, I'm not impressed with AMD stuff at all. I'm just not impressed. So, like I said, I went around, I patched this, made that piece under there, patched that. I get my new wheel tubs in place, I'll be able to go around and fix the bottom of this, patch this. I got the bottom of the rocker cleaned up. I got that part cleaned up. This was all bent. I straightened that out. I got the quarter off of that. Now I got to go in here and I got to clean all the old welds up. I'm going to have to do some rust repair right here on this little corner. And probably right here because it's pitted up pretty bad. I'm going to beat around on it with a hammer and grind it out and see. But it's pretty well pitted up. I might just replace like from here over and just make this whole piece right here new. But the rest of it looks pretty good. It was bent, like I said, it was bent real bad up here. You see where that line is, that right there was crunched. Straightened it out with a dolly. So far, so good. I've said it once and I'll say it again. AMD is garbage. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Well, I've said it once and I'll say it again. AMD is garbage. I'm going to keep ranting about this junky AMD stuff. This is factory right here. This is a factory piece. OEM Mopar stuff. See? Factory OEM. AMD can't even get simple hose stamped right. But this is where it wants to set. See? Look at this. Half the hole. I mean, come on, fella. If you bring it down to where the hose lines up, it actually raises up the part up off the quarter. So if you push it down to where it sets flush, then you're a half a hole off. Come on, guys. And I figured out why I was having so much with this rear valance and taillight panel. Evidently, so if you slide the floor, up against the frame rails like it should be, and you got your hole lined up right there, your line-up hole, then you're a half an inch gap. Then you will have a half an inch gap between this and this. And if you pull this up to this, where this is supposed to go, and then you try to put your little corners on. Right now, I've got them tack welded on just to kind of hold them in place. I'm not going, this ain't the finished product. But if you pull it up there, then this cocks in like this, and then your valance is cocked out like that. So then this line's not straight. So in order to make the line straight, you gotta take this loose, pull the valance out a half an inch, then all this straightens up. The only problem is, then you got a half inch freaking void between your valance and your dadgum floor pan. So you got two options. You can either leave your floor in your factory location, cut your lip off, move it back a half inch, and add you a piece of material all the way across. Or take your floor back loose, slide it back a half an inch, screw it back down, but then you're going to have a void right in this area. You'll have you a void right here, just like I got right now. I've got about probably like, I don't know, I can get my fingertip in there. But what I'm thinking is I'll do all my welding, and I'll just have to come in here and massage this metal down and get it closer. And then I'll just have to body work this if I really care about what it looks like. The right way to do it would be, what needs to happen is that lip right there needs to be flattened back down, and then that needs to be put in a break and a new lip bent, at least 3/8, half an inch back. Because right now it's no bueno, it won't work like that. And that's probably why it's covering up the daggum bolt hose for your bumper. Over here is real bad. IMD's gonna have to get the damn shit together. See right here? It's almost half a daggum hole. This is not bent right, guys. I'm not no Mopar expert. I'm not no AMD expert, but I know that shit ain't right. Because the frame rails in this car's factory, if you butt the floor pan all the way up against the frame rails like it's supposed to be, and you put it along the factory line right there, then you got a half an inch gap between your tail light pan or your valance and your floor. That's just all there is to it. I mean, there ain't no other way around it. So I'm gonna keep monkeying with it and try to get it a little better. Ain't none of this stuff fits right. I don't know how Chris Birdsong does it. I swear I don't. He must have the dadgum patience of a freaking cheetah. Alright. Time to cut all this garbage out. I got a new junky AMD piece to go back in it. Well, this is what we got to look forward to. I gotta fix that. I gotta replace probably from here down with this rotten. I gotta get this lip off. I'm gonna have to address all this somehow. Probably just gonna replace the whole outer edge of this all the way down, and then all of the bottom, and then of course the rocker. I knew the rocker was rusty, but man, is she rusty. And that'd be a good time to fix the inner and the outer. She's a rusty girl. I don't know if you can see down in there, but it looks like there's a rat's nest in there. Can't see nothing. I believe this is one of those cars that I think his name's Chris Birdsong. I think he calls this junk. This car is junk. It's not worth fixing. But I'm gonna fix it anyway. So I see a hole in the cowl. I see holes here. I see holes here. It's good, like all the way back, it's good. So it's good under the floor pan too. I don't know, for whatever reason it just rotted right here. So I'll just make a piece that goes down, over, and straight down, and then stitch weld it all the way up. Well, I have to make a piece. It's solid down here, so I'll just have to make a top. So let's get to it. Ellie! I'd get a lot more done if I didn't have to keep throwing this ball. Get a yellow lab, they said. Well, I can't believe it. I have finally bought a part that actually fits. And it fits nicely. I mean, it's touching the bottom of the cowl good. It's right up against this lip good. It's against this good. It lines up with the original, this inside panel. It lined back up with the original marks. Lined back up with her. All this looks right. All I gotta do now is patch all the rusty holes and I'll have this. I guess out of $15,000 I've spent, I got one panel that actually fits halfway decent. I didn't have to make it fit. Thank God. I know it looks rusty, but it's just flash rust. It's new metal. 18 gauge. I treated it down in there. It's got dust in there now. I've been grinding, but been treated in there. I cleaned it in there best I could. It's got some pits, but I couldn't do nothing about that. So I got this. I put this lip right. I put that lip right there on it so that I could, when I plug weld, I could plug all the way through into the new panel. And it's gonna fit in there just like that right there. It does fit pretty good. It's hard to do one-handed. So I'll get this welded in and we'll go on to the next patch. Well, I finally got to the point where I can put this door on, so I put my hinges back on. Can't see this. I don't know why in the world the light is so bad on this side of this car. You see that? All that was a big old hole, rotted out. So made all this, cleaned it all up, went far up as I could, so I'm good solid metal. And I had to weld some on the drip rail. The roof skin on this thing, I thought I was gonna get by with a roof skin, but I'm kind of leaning towards trying to find a roof skin now because it's got some pretty bad spots in it all the way around. Not really bad. It's got about 3 or 4 spots in it, and that's really too much for me. I really just want to replace it. I'll show you. I mean, it's got some pretty bad pits in it. Like that one right there is pretty bad. That one's pretty bad. This didn't bother me. I knew this was here. I was just going to cut this section out and replace this part. Then I got back down in here with a screwdriver. It's broke. It's cracked and broke right there, so it's starting to hairline crack. Of course, I knew this was like this. I was just going to bend me up a new little piece of a drip rail and weld me in a new section. I don't know. I'll go in there and clean it up with spot blaster maybe and just see how bad it is. But I figured I'd grind the... As you can see, we got tree moss all over this thing. That's crazy. I can do that, and then we can see it. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, we're gonna grind all this moss off. We don't grind the moss off, might keep our door from going on right. Come on now. And this is just for markup. I gotta take all this stuff back off and sandblast all this stuff. Make it pretty. This hinge is pretty tight. Got a little bit of play. This one, I want to rebuild and put a new pin in it. It don't get bushings, it just gets pins. And I'm hoping that the pin itself is what's wore out. It ain't terrible. About like a new car today. But I'm getting ready to stick this door on. I got a door. They're not new doors, but got a little bit of rust. Got hand with fix. But the rest of it looks really good. I mean, there's no rust nowhere else. And it's pretty straight, considering. Got a couple little dings in it here and there. Got a dent right there. I probably did that. But I need to take my trash off too. But I'm getting ready to stick that door on. Starting to look like a charger again. I left this part of this quarter on just so that I could use it as a guide for my door. Because that quarter right there was actually in decent shape. So I got a good gap there. I got a little bit wide gap at the bottom. A little bit wider than I would like, but that's just the way it fell because I lined this up. And I lined that line up. So that's just how it, I guess that's factory. This is flush everywhere. Must have done a pretty good job putting that on because everything lined up good and bolted up good. This door handle don't work, but this inside one does. Looks pretty good. Closes good. Shuts good. Closes good. Yeah, I said it did. It didn't close good that time. What? Crap. Keeps closing on me. There we go. Try that again. These latches and these Dodge doors, they're a little bit weird. See, it didn't close good that time either. Try it again. There we go. Closed good that time. The one on the other side, it's hit and miss. Sometimes it closes good, and other times it don't. Almost like there's something inside the latch that jams up or something. Slowly getting there. I think I got the back of this car figured out. You just got to make it fit. I went ahead and just tack welded this in place. Just to kind of get an idea. When I go underneath and in my plug welds, I'll come up here and I'll grind this off. Well, my wheel tubs, inner wheel tubs supposed to be here tomorrow. I gotta take my little boy to the dentist though, so probably won't get to play with this car much tomorrow. But I think I got this figured out. I measured it. I watched one of Chris Birdsong's videos. He's what's his channel called? Junker Up or something. But he kind of showed how you can get those on without pulling your hair out. Watched one of his videos, so then I just took everything back apart, grinded all my welds down, and then just started back over. And my problem was, of course, was the floor pan. He don't ever say anything about the floor pan. So once I screwed the floor pan back, everything went right on, no problem. So they got a problem with their floor pans. That's where I'm at right now. I'm getting ready to take all that material off of the roof, and the bottoms of the rockers, and the door jamb, and then I'll be able to fit my other quarter up there and really get an idea how everything's going to fit. My inner wheel tubs finally came, so I went ahead and put them together and mocked them up. I've got them into place. I know they're where they used to be because they're butted up against the upper structure. I still got to repair the bottom of this. Now that I got my wheel tubs, I can. I need to mock my quarters up first to make sure that they ain't got to go up or down or something. Came in with a little dent in it. But fits pretty good so far. I kind of did a crappy job patching this, but this stuff right here, my welder did not like welding it. So at least it's not a big hole anymore. We got rust, and more rust. How much rust you want? We got lots of rust down here. I got lots of repair I got to do. Might as well just keep on cutting the roof on up. I intend on reusing this roof, but I don't know now. Because I'll have to make a big old section. It'd be better to make the section where it comes down and then turns 90 degrees out and then spot welds to the drip rail. I just got done making a new drip rail piece, as you can see. Right here we can see it maybe. I made it just like the one that come off. It's got the little, come on now, zoom out. Anyway, it's got the ledge on the bottom that the drip rail moldings snap onto, and it rolls over on the top side too. Just like a factory drip rail would do. I wish you could see it. She's a little crude. She needs a little filing, a little sanding, but this is just roughed in. But it's a drip rail. Anyway. Once I get the bottom fixed, this will go in there. So it'll weld right back in there like that. And of course it'll get spot welded in there. It'll go just like that. So I got that panel made. Now I just gotta go in here and cut this portion out and rebox this in. So car's rough, boys. Then I'll have to come in here and clean all this up. I gotta fix a little spot right here. I have to clean all this up and treat it. Maybe it'll last a little longer for the next guy. Who knows? Well, I got it cut out for the most part. I gotta do a little cleaning up right here. I gotta get this lip right here off. And then I gotta go in here and try to clean this best I can. This old car is like a lost cause. But I'm gonna get it. I made that drip rail from here all the way down to here. That's the way the factory was, hanging out at the end. And it's only a single piece of metal right here. From here forward, it's doubled it over this way, and it has the little notch that hangs in. That slit right there. It's because I didn't like the way the drip rail looks, so I cut a slit in it, bring it out some. I will weld that back up solid. Weld it back up solid and grind it down. I'm thinking I'm gonna cut this roof skin all the way up to, see that rotten spot right there? I think I'm gonna cut it all the way up into here and just replace it from here down. And when I replace it, it'll roll down this way, and then it'll have a lip that'll get plug welded to the drip rail. Be like factory, and I don't have to worry about no bubbles coming back through. I think I'm gonna put a vinyl top on this car because the top ain't the best in the world anyway. It's got eyebrows in it, it's got pits in it, and it was a vinyl top car to begin with, so I think I'm gonna go that route. I'm gonna slick it up best I can, kind of a little bit, just good enough for a vinyl top, and then we're gonna paint the bottom half of this car, but we're not gonna paint it show car quality. We're just gonna make it try to look like it's been sitting in a barn for 40 years or 50 years. I want it to look like this. It's green, but I want it to be sunburnt, baked. I want it to be rubbed through in places. I kind of want it to look like this, thin all over. Thin or red oxide all over. So the doors are already red oxide, so all I gotta do is just hand sand it, blow some paint on it, and then start water sanding through it everywhere. It's got dents in it, but I ain't worried about dents. Like I said, we're not building a show car. We're building a rat rod. Alright, boys. This AMD stuff is the biggest hunk of garbage. AMD is garbage compared to dynacorn. This stuff is wavy as a freaking washboard. This whole entire panel, even though it's new, is going to have to be wiped solid with body filler. It's terrible. Look at that crap. Hell, even the lines is freaking, the freaking body lines on the top. Oh, what freaking junk. They can't even get freaking simple body lines right, straight. It's just throwed up there, the gaps aren't right. I just throw it up there to see if it even tried to fit, and it does. But it looks like crap. Freaking AMD's junk.